America's favorite jackpot game. This is Powerball. Good evening, America. I'm Laura Johnson. Tonight we have another life-changing jackpot for you. It's worth an estimated $416.9 million. So get those tickets out. Let's play. That first number up is 14. Followed by the number 33. Tonight we're going to meet NJB, who won $50,000 playing Powerball. Now for the rest of those numbers, we've got 4, 61, rounding it out tonight with 39. Your Powerball number tonight, good luck everyone, is 3, and your Power Play multiplier is 3. Let's take a look at those numbers one last time. Remember, there are multiple ways to win. We'll see you back here Wednesday night. Good night, everyone.
From the station that's on your side, this is News 12, NBC 26 at 11.
Good evening. People and organizations all around the country honoring the legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and the Payne College basketball teams did the same in their own way.
They played against South Carolina HBCU Clinton College in a tournament to honor Dr. King. Taylor Martin spoke with some of the players about why it's important to do this.
HBCU's Payne College and Clinton College came together to celebrate Dr. King's life and legacy through the game of basketball. It was only the second MLK Hoop Day hosted by Rucker Park Streetball, and I spoke with a few of the athletes about playing the game they love in Dr. King's honor. Jasmine Jenkins is only in her freshman year at Clinton College. After a huge win on such an important day, she says this is something she's wanted to do since she was a little girl.
I've been playing basketball since I was like 8. And I was just outside playing, and I grew to love it. I never want to stop playing now.
This year's tournament was not only hosted by the famous Rucker Park Streetball, but pushed to be great HBCU Classic as well. For Payne College players like Jada Brooks, win or lose, today was still a great way to honor the legacy of Dr. King by coming together with another HBCU. She says she's proud to go to a school that uses their athletic program to celebrate his life.
It's very significant because at other schools, they don't really make such a big deal about the day. So for our type of people, for HBCUs, to make a big deal and have a tournament like this, it feels good.
Clinton College junior Cameron Shannon was honored to receive the MVP award for tonight's men's game. He says he's honored his team was selected to play in the HBCU Classic.
Man, this was big for us. This is the first time, and I was just glad that they invited us to come play, and we came out with a big win.
Clinton College took the victory today, winning both the men's and women's games against Payne College and becoming the 2023 MLK Hoop Day HBCU Classic champions.
A great tradition that they have started. Thanks for that. Now we want to take a look outside.
Subtle pattern going into the weekend coming up in your full forecast.
All right, thanks, Mikkel. 3 Augusta firefighters injured after this fire truck rolled over on the I-20 ramp from Washington Road. Fire Chief Antonio Burden says they have non-life-threatening injuries, thankfully, but that ladder truck rolled over while crews were responding to a fire this afternoon. You can see the windshield shattered, and there was a long curved skid mark from the turn lane to the crash site, so it seems they were taking that curve a little too fast. The crash backed up traffic for a couple of hours tonight, but everything is back to normal now. A big decision happening tomorrow for the future of ambulance service in Augusta. It's a close to decade-long saga whether to bring ambulance service in-house and give the city of Augusta the zone or pay Gold Cross more money to subsidize the thousands of ambulance bills that go unpaid each year in the county. The commission is split on what to do, but one thing most of them agree on is that they do want a contract with Gold Cross to hold them accountable for things like ambulance response times. But tonight, Commissioner Sean Franstone posted this on his Facebook. It's a pretty long read, as you can see, but this is ahead of tomorrow's decision. He says tomorrow will be a defining day in Augusta. It goes on to say, if tomorrow we reach no solution, it will be devastating for our community. It does break down the map a little bit if you're interested in that. $2 million subsidy is what Gold Cross is asking for. Breaks down how many people paid and didn't pay by county, kind of comparing that to Columbia County. But it finishes off asking everyone to pray for a compromise for our county and ambulance service. But we're going to show this full post on our Facebook page if you want to read the full thing.
It was a deadly end to a weekend of celebration in Athens, just hours after the Bulldogs celebrated their second National Football Championship. Sunday, a car accident took the life of Devin Willock, a linebacker for the Dogs, and Andy Cole talks to a fan who spent some time with him before the tragedy.
After attending the championship celebration for Georgia's back-to-back national titles,
Camden started getting a little hungry, and we were looking for a place to kind of stop.
Sam Kramer and his 7-year-old grandson Camden stopped to eat before heading home to Cartersville.
Actually, I just sat down to get ready to order, and we noticed kind of a I don't want to say a commotion, but we noticed some folks that had started to kind of gather on our left side where we were sitting. As soon as I turned my head and looked, I saw who it was.
It was redshirt sophomore Devin Willock, and as a lifelong Georgia fan, Kramer knew he had to say hi.
I just kind of gave him a little bit of a fist bump and said, "Hey, Devin, congrats and everything that's going on." And he turned and saw Camden sitting there, and Camden was sitting there kind of wide-eyed looking up at him.
After chatting for a bit, Kramer said it was hard for Camden not to notice his championship ring.
I remember I just told Camden, I said, "Yeah, Camden, you have one, but he's got the real deal." That's when Devin, without even stopping and flinching, took the ring off and gave it to Camden. And he said, "Yeah, man, here, I'd love to see what you look like in the ring." And Camden put it on.
Kramer said the minutes-long meeting felt like hours to Camden.
What really struck me was just the way that he embraced being with Camden.
He snapped a few pics of the encounter and posted them to Twitter. Willock saw it and replied with 3 red hearts, his final tweet. Then, hours later, tragedy. Athens Clark County Police say it was just before 3 a.m. Sunday that the SUV he was a passenger in slammed into power poles and trees before crashing into an apartment. That accident killed Willock and the driver, football staffer Chandler LaCroix. The Athens Banner-Herald reports star offensive tackle Warren McClendon was also in the car. He has minor injuries, while another passenger is in serious condition. If you had to talk to Devin's family, what would you say?
In my heart, my heart is broken for them. I just want you to know that you raised an outstanding young man, and that he will be missed.
A chance encounter that won't soon be forgotten.
A player with a big heart there. University of Georgia says it is working with mental health professionals to help staff and team members cope with this loss.
And that crash, as we mentioned, also killed the driver, UGA recruiting staffer Chandler LaCroix. Police returned to the crash site today to investigate further to figure out how this happened, but Chandler's sisters traveled to Athens today as well to visit the makeshift memorial outside of Sanford Stadium.
And she was my biggest role model. Her coming to work here is something that she's always wanted to do, and I'm just glad that she made it as far as she wanted to.
She was the big glue to our family. She kept everyone together no matter what. If we were arguing, she was always there to stop it.
And our sister station also spoke with linebacker Devin Willock's mom. Charlene said it is hard to even comprehend what's happened. She lost Devin's brother in a car crash 14 years ago. She said the exact same way, same age, same everything. So as a mother, just hard to imagine what she's going through. At this time, police do not have any updates on the cause of the accident, but they do expect to release some new information sometime this week.
A local 11-year-old had his 5th surgery today after being attacked by 3 dogs a little more than a week ago now. Justin Gilstrap's family says he's doing well but is in a lot of pain. His mom says Justin has another surgery scheduled for Wednesday.
South Carolina senators said a bill that would give parents and guardians up to $6,000 a year for private school tuition will be the first thing they debate. The bill would allow what supporters call education savings, meaning lawmakers would set aside $90 million for what they say is a pilot program. The program would be limited to families that qualify for Medicaid.
The day before MLK Day, President
or by calling the number on your screen.
6 people, including a baby, are dead after a gang-related shooting in California. Deputies responded to a shooting at a home in Goshen today, and when they got there, they found 2 dead outside. They went inside to find 4 other victims, but only 1 person was alive. That person was taken to the hospital where they later died. 2 of the victims were a 17-year-old mother and her 6-month-old baby. Police had just served a narcotics search warrant at that address a week ago. 2 men are facing charges in Tuscaloosa following a deadly shooting near the University of Alabama over the weekend. 23-year-old Jamea Harris died after being shot sitting in her car early Sunday morning. University of Alabama basketball player Darius Miles is one of the men charged with her murder. He's since been released by the team, and Michael Lynn Davis has also been charged in that shooting. Police say the shooting might have stemmed from an argument the men had with the victim while they were out in an area of Tuscaloosa known as the Strip. Both suspects are charged with capital murder and are being held without bond.
Parts of California being hit with more flooding and more mudslides as another weather system brings more rain and snow to the state.
President Biden has declared it a major...
Have you heard this one? Actor and filmmaker Tom Hanks introducing a cocktail that he says was born during a moment of celebration over the holidays.
I'm listening.
Come on, Tom. It's a combination of Diet Coke and champagne. He says
I am not listening.
he discovered it after he decided to add a shot of champagne to his Diet Coke. Tom says it is delicious.
Listen, I trust Tom almost probably with my life, but I am having a hard time trusting him on this.
It may be a taste test required.
I'll give it, I don't know.
I
I guess I'll give it a try. But it's beginning to trend across the internet, so if you want to make the diet cocaine at home, yeah,
Coke and champagne equals
Coke and
what?
champagne.
I'm not sure that's what they're going to market it as.
But it's diet.
Yeah, it is diet.
That's crazy. All you gotta do is combine 2/3 of a diet cola of your choosing and then add a shot of champagne. That sounds horrible.
And if you do, let us know if you like it as much as
That
Tom
sounds
does.
terrible.
Tom's been home a lot.
Sounds like Tom had had a few glasses of champagne before making that cocktail.
Wow.
That doesn't sound good at all, but umbrella will be needed tomorrow afternoon and evening. The pattern stays unsettled for the rest of the week.
All right, some rain.